Just going out to get some herbs, and I've got chickens on my porch. Hi girls, how are you? My cat meowing. It's obviously not meant to rain today, but here we are. It's started to rain. So come with me, we're going to get some herbs for a marinade that I'm making tonight for some chops. So I'm in my back garden and I'm going to pick some rosemary. So this rosemary is from a falling bush. It's called a weeping rosemary, and it is just stunning. It's so happy and healthy and abundant. So we're going to get some stalks of rosemary for our chops tonight. So we're having lamb chops. So we're just cutting the ends of the stalks there. They smell incredible. So rosemary as a culinary dish is just so beautiful for the taste, the aroma, but it's also a very good liver tonic, which is great. It's also good as a memory tonic, so really good for cognitive function and brain health, which I just love. I've also got some receding tarragon. So my tarragon is sitting in a bed that it thrived in, and tarragon is a really underutilized French herb that I use a lot for marinades for red meat. I use it in chicken as well. It is just so beautiful. It's got a real kind of subtle aniseedy taste to it, and it just smells incredible. So we've still got some beautiful fresh leaves of that. I've got some of my aloe vera shoots coming off, and I've got some dandelions growing here as well. So now I'm going to come over. I've got my feverfew plants taking over my backyard, and I'm going to get some thyme. So these are my crystals and my moon jar that I've popped out for the full moon tonight. So I'm going to pop in some thyme. So I have all these beautiful sprigs of thyme just growing randomly through my garden, and they are so vibrant and healthy. So we're just going to pluck the tops of that thyme, and look at that. That is just so stunning. So that's going to go in as well. And then for the final herbaceous kind of taste, I'm going to add in a bit of my seeding basil, which is starting to obviously come to the end of its time because it's been so abundant through the summertime, and we've used lots of this basil. It's been fantastic. We've made lots of beautiful dishes with this gorgeous plant, and I've got two other basils that have finally receded or seeded, and they are ready now for dormancy, and then we'll come back when we replant during the springtime. Late spring is when I like to plant my basil, because I feel like here in Victoria it can be a little bit cool still in the early spring. And so the basil's going to reinforce that tarragon taste. And there we have it. We've got a mix of beautiful herbs to go in our marinade tonight. And the reason why I love to use herbs from my garden is it just gives you that real abundant, fresh taste. Okay, so I harvested the herbs from my garden. What am I going to do with them? That's the big question. So tonight is a Sunday night, and we are going to make a chop dinner. So we have some delicious lamb chops over here, local lamb chops that are beautiful and rich and yummy and fresh. And I also have some windowsill parsley that I keep from my garden up on the windowsill, so it's convenient for me to grab to add to my herbs. So these were the herbs that I grabbed just before. You would see in my previous video that I harvested these from my garden. This is a lemon from my little lemon tree that we harvested yesterday, and these are some garlic cloves, sadly not locally grown, but they are Australian grown, and they are going to go in our, I'm using, like you can use a food processor, I'm just using a Thermomix type thing, Thermocook, and I'm going to pop my herbs in. So we've got our parsley first, because parsley doesn't need to be trimmed, our basil. So all our leafy ones, our stem ones will go in a bit separately, so we don't want thick stems through our marinade. So I'm making a herb, mustard and honey and garlic marinade to go on chops, and I'm stripping the rosemary, and those chops are going to be cooked in a fire. So not directly in the fire, but in a fire oven. So we have a fire that powers or heats our hot tub or our spa. And while we're having a spa later this afternoon, best way to do Sundays, we're going to be cooking these chops low and slow. So last week we did some chicken. We did tandoori chicken. Oh, it was immaculate. Came out beautiful in the fire oven. So stripping the rosemary, stripping the tarragon. So these are all just beautiful, freshly picked. So we have some dew on those from a fresh rain shower. So it's all just beautiful and healthy, and some thyme going in. We're stripping our thyme, literally and also figuratively. All right, into the bowl. And so they are all going to get chopped together. So I'm just going to chop those herbs with that garlic, and that is going to form the basis of our flavour profile. So just on the thermocook, if you're wondering what this machine is, all right, back, and then I go to manual cooking. But you can use any kind of blender or food processor. It doesn't have to be this particular machine. And we're just going to blend those up. And you'll kind of hear when it's ready, it'll stop the chopping kind of noises. Will settle. Okay. Okay, we're going to stop that and we'll check that when it opens. All right, what do we have here? We have a beautifully chopped herbal garlic mass of deliciousness, and we're just going to scrape those sides down of that. So that's all yum, yum, yum. It smells absolutely incredible. Now, to combine this into a marinade, we need honey, lemon, mustard, and some pepper and some salt. So I'm going to squeeze the juice of a very fresh lemon. You can use some of the rind of the lemon too. I prefer just the juice in this particular marinade, but there are marinades where I do, oh, it's so juicy, include the rind. There is so much juice in these little lemons, and it's such an abundant little tree. And it produces, it's still not fully grown, it's only a couple of years old, and it produces so much fruit through the winter season. It's great. All right, so some Dijon mustard. So I've got about a tablespoon left in here, and I'm going to just top that up with a little bit of water, so another tablespoon of water, and I'm going to give that a good shake and pour that in. So Dijon has a real kind of creamy flavour to it compared to an English or even a German mustard. I like the seeded mustards, but my kids do not as much. So I just like the creamy aspect of this one because it's got that tang, but it's quite delicious. All right, and I'll just put some of the mild American mustard in, just another tablespoon of that. We really want to have that flavour profile go through with the herbs and the honey. All right, so now I've got some honey. I'm using some yellow box Australian honey. I love honey for marinades. It makes the meat nice and sticky. Thank you, bees, for all your beautiful nectar. How lucky are we to be able to have this resource and be able to, you know, harvest this from bees. Here in Australia, we are abundant with our bees. Very, very precious. I love bees. They're incredible. I love watching them pollinate my garden. It's just such a wonderful gift. Okay, and so now you can see we've got the honey, the mustards, that little bit of water in there, and our herbs and garlic. And now we're going to add our salt. So I'm putting probably about half a tablespoon of salt in there. Yeah, and so that will be really, really delicious. Turn that over. Okay, so now what we're going to do with the marinade is just mix that around on a really low heat so that we can warm it up a bit so the honey melts a little bit. and that's going to give us a bit more of that flavour. So I'm just going to put it on 50 degrees for around 2 minutes and start, and that's going to be enough. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to season my chops. So they need to have salt all over them. So we do not want to miss the seasoning, otherwise you will have a bland marinade going on your chops. So each chop is going to get marinade over it, and it is going to taste amazing. So they are really thick, beautiful chops. Nowadays chops are very expensive. When I was a kid, chops were like a weekly staple. Unfortunately, they weren't valued like they are now, so they weren't cooked to the greatest degree. They were kind of just put in the griller and cooked. There was no real care or love given to them, and they were always cooked to the point of toughness. So they weren't really a memorable thing when I think back as a kid. Now I think, oh gosh, that lamb is amazing. You either want to slow cook it till it falls apart, which is what I'm doing tonight, or you want to cook it till it's, you know, that nice pink colour. There really is no in between with lamb. You've got to respect the meat. So nice and seasoned, each chop getting some love. And there are lots of chops when you've got a family of 6 that we're doing. And literally just as a staple, we'll be doing this with some mash. I tried to negotiate doing the root vegetables, but my children said no. My cat is there over the sink as well. Okay. All right, so now we're going to add some pepper to that, because pepper should go separately onto your meat, unless you're doing a peppercorn type recipe. All right, now our marinade should be ready. So this is what we've got now, and that smells perfect. So you can go and warm, it's okay. It's not going to cook the meat in any ridiculous way. It's just going to warm things up, which is fine because the chops are partially frozen. So I've had them in the freezer, so they will be slowly defrosting with the warm marinade. It's not hot by any means, it's probably room temperature, and so that is going to go over our chops. Now this will marinate for the day, and so this is going to marinate all day long, and then we're going to eat this tonight. So this will go cook in the fire oven of the spa for about, you know, probably 2 to 3 hours is how long it will be. They'll be in the oven and they'll be falling off the bone. Really, really delicious, yummy chops. So you want to make sure you've got the marinade all over the meat of each chop as well, because if you miss any, they're not going to have that flavour. And so that honey helps everything stick, but it also gives it flavour. So these will go in the fridge and they will sit in their beautiful sauce for the rest of the day. So that's how I'm using my garden harvest today, and it actually makes a real leisure Sunday with a beautiful meal at the end of it, to restore and reset adrenal function and to get ready for a busy week. It's a really lovely way to do a Sunday, and just getting out in the garden, picking herbs, feeling connected to the earth, you know, connecting with abundance is such a positive place to be. Okay, I look forward to sharing a photo of the end product.